Hi guys, this is Taken 57, and today I'm going to be showing you how to migrate your wrestler models, which you've created for previous games, to WWE 2K19. Alright, for this example, I'm going to start with the Chris Benoit mod, which I've created for 2K18. This was created using a Finn Bulor base. So I'm going to open up the model. Alright, I'm going to click on Export All. I'm going to select the Objects folder. I'm going to click Select Folder. Alright, this will export all of the objects which are in the model. And now I'm going to import all of these objects into the Finbulor 2K19 model so as to take advantage of the new material roughness textures and to also enable the model to be compatible with Creation Studio. Alright, so I'm going to open up the Finbulor 2K19 model. And I'm going to click on Inject All Objects. Alright, and you will see that it's now imported all of the objects from the 2K18 model into the 2K19 model. You will notice that with 2K19 models, there are two additional objects at the end, which you can safely get rid of. Okay. And you will also notice that it has not imported object 17, which is the beard object. Now, the reason for this is because the number of vertices for the beard objects don't usually correspond between models within games, because facial hair for the wrestlers change over time. If you're lucky, the vertex count will be the same and it will import this. If not, it won't import this. However, if you need to work with the model in Creation Studio, you need to ensure that the beard object remains in the model. If you reduce the number of objects and don't include the beard object, the Creation Studio will crash. So if you want to work with the model in Creation Studio and you don't need a beard, the only way in which you can get rid of the beard is to edit the alpha channel of the combinations texture and make it transparent so that the beard does not display in game. Alright, so I'm just going to reduce this to 18 objects so that I have the beard as well. I don't need the tire because the tire is in a separate object file. Alright, and the Benoit mod which I've created for 2K18 is now ported to 2K19. The legs look a bit weird because I've scaled them down to prevent clipping with the tires. Alright, another thing you need to do is if you have positioned the bones of the mod, you can extract the bones and inject them directly into the 2K19 model as well without any issues. For instance, I've positioned the eye, the tongue, and the jaw bones. So you can extract these and inject these into the 2K19 mod without any issue. So hit the export button and hit import on the 2K19 model. Okay, I'm not going to do this to save time. Another thing you need to remember is that you also need to inject the Vertex Normals for the objects which you've imported from 2K18. The Vertex Normals usually display an additional amount of detail for each of the objects that you've created. This is done by importing the model into 3D Studio Max and then running the take and export wavefront script. And this will export the object with the Vertex Normals for you. And then thereafter, you can import the Vertex Normals. I generally import the Vertex Normals for objects 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is not really required. The reason for this is because it will look like the head does not really match the chest and the arms if you don't do the Vertex Normals for object 1, 2, and 3, in addition to object 0. So to show you this quickly, I have a Hogan mod open in 3D Studio Max. You just select the object, select scripting, transcript, and you select the take and export wavefront option. Specify where you want to save, and it will create the file _normals, and then thereafter you import this. I'm not going to do this just to save time. Now that you've migrated the model to a 2K19 model, you need to create a new pack file with all of the relevant textures, additional Y object files for tires, etc. Alright, now if you are making any changes to the hair, if you are replacing the hair object with another hair object altogether, you'll find that the Creation Studio also crashes. Now, if you're replacing hair with short hair, it's very simple to get this to work in Creation Studio. You'll notice that in your pack file, you have files which is 00FA up to 00FF. Okay, you need to delete the 00FD and the 00FE files when creating a new pack file. And the Creation Studio will load the wrestler mode that you've done, even though you've changed the hair. Note this is only for short hair. If you have long hair, Creation Studio will load the long hair, but it will cause a glitch, like in the picture below. Alright, so if you are trying to use long hair for one of the models in your mod, you need to extract the objects and inject into a wrestler which has a long hair. For instance, if I wanted to assign Benoit long hair and I wanted to use Triple H's long hair, I need to extract all of the objects and inject it into Triple H's Y object file, and then I can use the hair, which is for Triple H, in Creation Studio without it glitching. Unfortunately, I haven't found a workaround for this as yet. And if you guys know a workaround, you're welcome to post it. And if I figure out a way to do this, I will detail this in a later tutorial. All right. So that's the simplest way in which to port your mod from an older model to a new model which exists in 2K19. Another thing to note is that if you're creating a mod on a wrestler base which does not have hair, then you want to assign hair to the model and you want it to appear in Creation Studio. There's something else you need to do in order for the hair to appear. For instance, if I wanted to use Stone Cold as my base for Benoit, and I assign him a hair object, the hair object will appear in game but will not appear in Creation Studio. The reason for this is because the hair object is not listed under the materials for that Y object. For example, if I click on Edit Materials, you'll notice that hair isn't listed anywhere on the list. So in order for the hair to appear in Creation Studio, you need to change one of the materials here to include the hair texture and another to include the hair normals texture. Alright, so you can find any texture which will not be used for this mod, and you can replace it with hair and hair underscore n. For instance, I'm not going to assign classes to this mod, so I can change this to hair underscore n. You can click Save Changes. Alright, and now if I assign hair to this mod, the hair will appear in Creation Studio. Keeping in mind that you need to delete the FD and FE files as well. Alright, so the third scenario I'm going to cover is what happens if you want to port your model to a 2K19 model, but that model does not exist in 2K19. For instance, I want to port Hogan to a 2K19 base, but Hogan's model does not exist in 2K19. Alright, so in this instance, it's a little bit more time consuming because you need to find a model in which you can inject the objects into. However, the objects for the model need to have the same number of faces. If the model that you're injecting into does not have the same number of faces, when you inject the objects will appear corrupted. To show you what I mean, I'm going to open up Hogan's model to PC. I'm going to open up Hogan's 2K15 model. Okay, I'm going to extract all the objects. All right, now I'm going to open up Stone Cold's 2K19 model. And I'm going to inject all the objects. You'll notice right away that the face for Hogan looks completely corrupted. That's because the number of faces or the number of triangles for this object differs in Stone Cold as it does for Hogan. So unfortunately, there's no quick way in which to do this, and you need to use trial and error to try and determine which model you can inject into, which has the same number of faces as the model that you're trying to port. All right. Also, because Hogan has long hair, I need to find a model which has long hair, which I can use for the Hogan model as well. So for me, after quite a bit of trial and error, I figured out that Triple H is a model which has long hair, which I can edit, and also the number of faces that is contained for the head object for Triple H is the same as Hogan. So let's try again with Triple H. Okay, I'm going to inject all of the objects. All right. So I can get rid of the objects which I will not be using. Now remember, if you want this to appear in Creation Studio, you need to leave object 17 or the beard object. Sometimes the beard object is not object 17. All right, so I'm going to reduce the number of objects to 15. Okay, and we can see that the Hogan head object is imported without any issue. You may notice a couple of small anomalies in the model, which you can fix in 3D Studio Max by just positioning the vertices or by relaxing this area. This isn't anything major. All right. Also remember that you need to import the bones for the eyes, the jaw, and the tongue from the Hogan model, so that these do not glitch in the Triple H model. So we can open up Hogan's 2K15 model, extract the eyes, jaw, and tongue bones, and then inject this into the Triple H's model without any issue. You can use Hogan's attire objects from this 2K15 model as a secondary Y object in your pack file. So you can get rid of objects 1 to 17 by swapping positions with objects. So object 18 can become object 0, etc. So you can use all of the attire objects only in the Y object file and add this as a secondary Y object file. Yeah, I cover this in detail in one of my other tutorials, so you can watch how I do this there. And the tutorial also details how to create a new pack file, create new texture archives, etc. So I'm not going to go through that again here. All right, now that we've got the model prepared, you need to make changes to the hair, like I've said before. Now, if you are using Triple H's hair, you notice that he has much longer hair. Unfortunately, whatever changes you make to the hair object gets reset in Creation Studio. So if you change the shape of the object, like here, I've moved to the top of the hair into the head object to make it bald at the top. This gets reset in Creation Studio. So the only way in which you can change anything in the hair is by editing the UV of the hair object. So for instance, this longer bits at the front objects are parts of the hair which I don't want rendered, and I've edited the UV to make these transparent. The top of the head as well, I've moved this into the head object to make it bald. This will appear fine in a normal wrestling match. However, if you go into Creation Studio, the top of the hair will revert back to its original position. So then the way in which I managed to get rid of this hair in Creation Studio is to make this area transparent as well, just to show you. All right. So this section of the hair, you can see it's black, and I've made it transparent by editing the UVs. Okay, so that's how you would get the hair object to get the shape that you want without actually editing the vertices of the object or by moving the object around. Like I said, Creation Studio resets the hair back to its original position no matter what you do. Also, you need to export the Vertex Normals for the objects if you are porting this into a new model. So, as I said before, I normally take the Vertex Normals for the head, the chest, and both the arms. So I'd export these with the script that I've created and import the Vertex Normals into the Flash model as well. All right, so that's basically how you would port your models, which we have created for all the games, into 2K19 model basis, and also how you would port a wrestler from one of the older games to a 2K19 base where the wrestler does not exist in 2K19. I hope this tutorial was helpful to you and explains everything you need to know. This is a fairly advanced tutorial, so I would suggest you go through some of the other tutorials in detail on how to work with models, how to create pack files, etc. If you're having difficulty with some of the concepts that I've described in this tutorial. Until next time, enjoy modding the game and take care.